Hello, this is another update for Level Plan 2, and since the last update I haven't done too much that's going to be visible that I'm going to be able to show you, but I've done just enough that I feel like another update is in order, and I also figured I would show you this little introduction screen that I've done. As you can hear, the main theme is sort of like a remix of the main theme from the original. And I shall skip the opening cutscene of the game, which I've done. That's one of the things I've updated, by the way, and I will show you the rest of the stuff I've done. Just a few little things here and there. Right, and here we are at the end of the opening cutscene. By the way, I should mention that today is the 12th of April 2020. Again, just to give a bit of a time frame for this. And so what we have here is these text boxes, and these text boxes are used for things like messages and story events and stuff like that. And so as you can see at the end of the first cutscene, we have Helen here who's saying, "Here we are, good luck everyone," and then the game starts. Now, as you can see, if I continue on, we get these little tutorial messages. So get some controls for when you're in the field. Field just meaning, you know, walking around. Chronometers. There it tells you, I mean, I've already spoken and explained how all this works, but these are just little things to describe to you the little mechanics of the game. And they have a bit of information about flags, and then the game starts. Right, and we can go about on our merry way to do the stuff. Level up land 2, you know, changing in character and race, moving around, placing flags. That's all fine and dandy. Now, if I open up the menu for the first time, as you can see, we get these other little messages here. So we get controls for the menu. Then we get some information on the character stats, which tells you what each of the character stats does. Explaining warp and saving. And one thing I've changed here, as you can probably see, is that some of these things here are blanked off. Equip and delete. I can't actually use those right now. And same for these ones here as well, like the bestiary and the keys and also the spell book. You can't actually access that straight away, but what I have added is this little information tab. So as you get through the story, as you progress through the story, and as new bits of information open up to you, it will become available to you in this information tab here. So I could click on, for example, warp, and it'll remind me, oh, this is what warp does. Or I could say controls, yep, controls for the field and the controls for the menu. You know, little things like that. So you've got the story ones here. They can tell you the different segments of the story. As you progress the story, you can click on them and re-watch the cutscenes, as it were. We also have a few character profiles here as well. So let's say if we go to Ian here and press X on him, Ian Spector, and his little bio is here to let you in on the latest scoop. It doesn't count as gossip if it's for work. And if you look at Warren here, Warren man, the strong silent type. Nobody's quite sure what his motivations are, but with an axe like that, nobody wants to ask. So little things like that. I'm not going to click on this because that'll go through the whole introduction cutscene again. And as you progress and unlock more of these things, you will get... These will become more available. Also credits, as you can see there. As you can see, it was created by me in Game Maker Studio 1.3. So it's got the game logo, my logo, and the Game Maker Studio logo. And also, the spacebar works as a pause. And so as you can see there, pause, press spacebar or X to unpause. And if you, for example, are in the middle of one of these and you pause, it'll overwrite it. And then as soon as you unpause, it'll go straight back to it. So that's good. Now, if I warp to save, there's still some things I need to, of course there's plenty of things I need to add, but one of those things is I still want to have sound effects for when you scroll between characters here. And I need to have sound effects for when you pick up these chronofacts. Right, warp, save. Now I am wanting to save for a specific reason here, because I want to demonstrate to you getting spells. Also, something else I should add, something that I should mention that I've done here, which I think is neat, is now when you go into a sub menu, so say you go into audio here, the middle panel there with the options, it turns yellow. So see there, audio turned yellow, so you know exactly where you are by looking at that information. And that one turns yellow to say that this is where you are, this is the sub menu that you're in. Right. Well, just to demonstrate, although it's obviously not working just yet, if I press a button there, that's a little animation that will happen when you enter a battle. I haven't actually got animation battles triggering yet. So if I go into a battle, right, I haven't done, battles aren't working yet. There's still the same amount of stuff working in battles as what was working before, but I have added these little tutorial messages, so that will tell you, you know, about charging and elements and stamina and what happens if you win and what happens if you lose, and then the battle continues on. Right, and then, you know, you have your battle and do what you need to do. Right, now as I've done that, you can see the bestiary option is opened up here. If I go into bestiary now, I've usually what happens is things will become available here once you've fought an enemy, but just for the sake of showing it off, I have made it so that there is one automatically unlocked, as you can see, Seagull here. And the way the bestiary works is if you click on something, you'll get a little bit of a bio for that enemy, along with some information on his health and experience, which you have to unlock manually. And so, for example, Seagull here, the story behind these enemies in this game is that they are rejects from the original level of Land. So the little bio will not always, but it will often give a bit of a description as to why it was rejected, or, you know, what people thought about it, you know, things like that, or what they're about. Just a little couple lines, you know, like, so in this case with the Seagull, somebody clearly missed the memo that said the pier was supposed to be safe. So there you go, that's why the Seagull was rejected. Health question mark, experience question mark. I haven't actually done all the stats yet, but there you go, there's that. Now, I'm going to just do a quick save here, because I want to simulate getting some spells, because I have added something into these menus here. Now, I'm going to try this out, because what I've done is I have what is it I've done? I have added the mechanic in place that will and characters get spells. So, like before, where I said I wanted to randomize the spells that you got, and where in the last video what I did was I went ahead and deleted a ton of spells just to make it so that you couldn't see certain things. It's going to be harder to do here, because what I'm going to demonstrate here is the messages that you get. And what I've done is I have made it so that just for now I can press a button to simulate a battle having been won and characters having spells banked. And what that means is that once I've done that and they warp, we will get the messages to see what spells they've unlocked. Of course, the problem there is that I can't determine what's going to crop up, so I'm just going to do it, and if I feel like there's something I don't particularly want you to see, I might retake it just to do it again, like reload and do it again, or I might just run with it. So we'll see how it goes. This might be a little bit of a reveal, but anyway, right, I've just pressed a button to simulate me getting some spells, or me having won a battle. So if I now warp, right, okay, so here we get information about the spells we unlock. So Warren has unlocked an Aqua Strike with those abilities there, those enchantments. Whitney has unlocked a Drain, and that's it. Right, but now we get some information about equipping spells. So you can equip your spells and delete spells. It tells you about how you can delete your spells, and there's some information about the enchantments. Right. And by the way, I should point out that this all becomes available in the information here. So as you can see, as I've got into a battle, some of these like elements has appeared in the list. And what else? Enchantments. So there's information on enchantments that's all become available. Right. So yeah, I didn't actually reveal too much there, but you can see, yep, there's a drain spell in this game. Yeah. Deal damage to the nearest enemy and heal the user. Right. And of course I've been through all this, so I don't need to explain how enchantments work and all that still, because I've done that. And as you can see, the menu options light up there. So equip, you come here, and the equip option there has lit up. Go to delete, and the delete option has lit up as well. Now, something I want to draw your attention to is this acquisition rate. I have actually added a bar there to demonstrate to you the acquisition rate for spells for any given character, because you may remember I've said last time that your acquisition rate of spells, that is the chance of you getting a spell after battle or having a spell banked ready for when you warp, is determined by the character's fortune, and it's also determined by the amount of spells that character has. So this means that as you delete spells, you will be able to see that bar increase. So say Warren here has 3 spells, Whitney has 3 spells. Whitney can equip all 3 of those. Not that it matters. But anyway, so say if for example I come here and I say to Warren, look at the acquisition rate bar as I delete the spell. It jumps up a bit. Not much, but it does a bit. Now, obviously, when you've not got many spells, that's not going to make such a big impact. But if you have a whole host of spells that goes like all the way down to here, that is going to, relatively speaking, make a much bigger impact. And seeing as I now have the option to equip and delete and all that, I have also unlocked the spellbook. Which gives you information of the spells that you have unlocked there. Now, I do believe that is it that I have to show. Yeah, so it's quite, relatively speaking, it was quite a quick one today. In terms of what I'm doing at the moment in regards to this game and what I need to do, the few things that are on my mind, well, first of all, I need to double check. I mean, I've already gone through and done a bit of proofreading. It sounded like I got a Facebook message there. I've done some proofreading. But there's always a chance that I might have, you know, just little things like maybe full stop or a capital letter missing or a space not being in the right place. Little things like that. I do need to check that everything follows the same format. I need to, for the enemies, I need to design the enemies completely fully. Like, I haven't done all the enemy descriptions, I haven't done any of their stats. So that's something that I need to do. The things involving battles is by far the biggest thing to do at this stage. So I have to get spells working, I have to get enemies working, get them doing all their actions, you know, determining things like, you know, killing an enemy and getting experience, making it so that when you win the battle, the battle screen changes, getting you to trigger to go into battles, things like that. That is the majority of what I have left to do. Aside from that, it is all the proofreading of all of these little notifications. And yeah, the sound effects, that's another big thing I need to do. So like this, flipping between characters, I need to have a sound effect there, and picking up the different artifacts, like little bleeping sounds or something like that. So yeah, that is it for today. I haven't actually, well, it doesn't seem like I've done as much since the last update, but you know, a lot of it is sort of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, I'd say the biggest thing I've done is probably the little notifications that crop up like that. And I'm very happy with like the acquisition rate bar and all that, just to, you know, add a little bit more user friendliness to it, so you can see how, you know, your fortune and your spell count affects that acquisition rate. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching, and hopefully next time I will have battles working to some extent by the next time I do one of these videos. That is the aim, I guess, to have battles working, and that will be exciting to show. What else was I going to say? Yeah, the thing I'm working on, that I've been working on the most recently, is trying to get the enemy spawns correct. So determining what enemy spawn at what percentage chances in what areas, you know, things like that. Anyway, I'm going to end this here, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.